Oh man, I'm late again. Hello my YouTube friends! Man, have I got a treat for you today if you're in the market for a camera. Not just a web camera, but an actual camera that can do amazing things, and it's even PTZ. The kind of things this camera can do, they just shocked me. You're not going to believe it, so you know what? Let's get to it! Now, I get emails from companies wanting me to talk about their cameras and their microphones pretty much at least 2 or 3 a week. And if I'm being honest, I don't like to do these videos because generally speaking, they take about 5 times longer than it does for me to do a regular tutorial video. So I'm really selective about the types of things that I talk about. Now I have a rule of thumb with this stuff that basically says that if the microphone or camera doesn't offer a very specific and unique solution that I feel like would really help live streamers that are out there in my audience, I'm just not interested. And that's why I really was excited to talk about this Obsbot Tail 2, because it really does offer some extremely unique solutions that can replace your camera. Not your webcam, but your actual camera. This thing, well, they put a lot of thought into it, and I think it can really help a lot of people out there with their live streaming journey, especially if you're not in a studio like this, but you're doing a church stream or live concerts or live theater or live sports or anything like that. This is a game changer that can give you amazing quality imaging. We're talking DSLR quality imaging in a package that can be used basically as multi-cameras. One camera can act as multi-cameras. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, because to replace something like this with a DSLR camera setup, you'd probably need 4 or 5 different cameras. And none of those cameras would be able to move or track. This will do all that in one camera. It's really a pretty amazing solution, and I'm excited to talk about it today. So let's take a look at what's in the box. And don't forget, there are links in the description down below so you can go check it out yourself and see what you think. This is the Obsbot Tail 2. How big is it? Well, this is the Obsbot Tail Air, and boy is there a big difference between this webcam and this camera. And that difference isn't just the size. Now here's everything that comes in the box. If we compare it against the Obsbot Tail Air right here, you can see that there is a significant size difference. And right away, when you take a look at this lens, I mean, look at the difference in these lenses. It's night and day, and you're gonna see it in the video as well. The lens here is really unique. If you wanted to zoom in on a normal webcam, which this is not a webcam, this is a real camera. But when you zoom in the lens on a webcam, it's going to change in the software digitally. But not with this. You can physically see the lens move in and out to do what it needs to do. And what that means is you're going to be able to get the same kind of picture quality no matter whether it's zoomed in or zoomed out. It's still going to be in 4K. It's not going to be any kind of digital processing or anything like that. And that's all the way up to 5 times zoom. And it has another party trick as well. This is going to rotate the lens from horizontal to vertical. And it'll rotate back the other way. Now the beautiful thing about this is that also means it can stop at any increment in between there. So when this camera articulates into a circle, sometimes on PTZ cameras you get something that looks like it's at an angle. And that's because the lens doesn't actually rotate on normal PTZ cameras to keep it level. But this one can rotate to keep that lens totally level so that it's never going to get that angled, goofy view. Pretty incredible. And let's be honest, it just looks really cool when it does it too. You've seen what's in the box. Let's take this out and look at what it does in the field before we bring it into OBS and I show you the different kinds of things that you can do with it there. So in order to select something, you just draw a box over it. It could be something that moves or just pretty much anything you want. You can select it and that's where the camera will focus. If you tap over here on the right, and you can spin this little wheel to zoom it in, and there we go. Now anything up to the 5 is basically the zoom, which adjusts the lens focal length. So I'm trying to keep in the threshold so we're not using any of the digital lens so you can see what it actually looks like. Now you can set the tracking speed to anything that you want. And I think as long as you're not trying to record some sort of flying thing like a bat or something like that, well, it'll pretty much track it. I'm not exactly young and svelte or even remotely quick, but it tracks me pretty well. Now this is footage off the actual camera. And what you're going to see is I'm going to go behind the shed here and we'll switch over to the app and it says it lost the target. But as soon as I step out from behind there, it picks me back up. And this is camera footage once again. And it looks absolutely amazing. Now, if you don't think this looks amazing, here is the picture that I just took. See how far I am from the actual camera? Don't see the camera? Well, there it is right there. Now, it's great. This camera works in perfect daylight. But the mark of a great camera is working in low light. So we're going to go in there. Now, there's almost no light coming in this room at all. And the light that's coming in is very difficult. We have a little bit coming in from over there, but that door's in the shadows. And then we have the bright light coming in from the garage door. I have the overheads off. Everything is off. A lot of cameras would have a lot of difficulty working in this kind of lighting condition. And yet, I look pretty good. This is definitely usable. In fact, I'd say it'd be nearly impossible to find a webcam that's going to do this. This is definitely a lot more than a webcam. I told you it was a game changer, but I didn't really show you the features that can change the game. So we're going to get into a little bit in the app, but also in OBS. And I'm going to show you how this can just completely change the way that you might be filming your live stream stuff. All right, so I want to show you the game-changing features, and we're going to start with the app. If we go into our settings here, you can see that we could live stream directly from this app. We go down here into our general settings and we go to live broadcast settings and we can go to anywhere we want with RTMP or YouTube or Facebook or Twitch. So for any live stream that we wanted to do, we could do it directly from this phone if we wanted to. And so let me give you an example of how you might use this as a multi-camera setup. So I'm just going to kind of move out of the way and we're going to use some stuff in my backdrop to illustrate what I'm talking about. First thing we could do is double tap. It will not follow me anymore. Then we could break out our little tool here and we can move it around. And we'll zoom it in. And you can see the gimbal moves really fast when we're zoomed in. And so we want it just to focus on that. So now we're focused and we can hold down this key right here and it creates a preset, P1. And we can update it, do whatever. That's preset P1. So now we can move this to anywhere else that we want. So we can have it focus there. And we can just click on it to get it to focus if it were out of focus. Because you can do things at different depths. And we can click that again and we can update it. So now we could go right back here or right here and we can select another target and select another preset and update it. So now you could see that we've got one camera doing 3 different locations. So if we were doing a venue that was a concert venue, you can set up cameras to do, let's say you're filming a band, a guitarist, or a drummer, or whatever, and you just can click these. You can stream right from here and just click these to get the different views that you want. With one camera. You don't have to do anything. And it will change focus for each one if one's closer than the other, or anything like that. You set the focus in there so it knows what to focus on. So you only have 3 different presets that you can use on the app, but you can also stream directly from the app, which is absolutely awesome. And we're getting DSLR quality for all of these shots. It looks as good as it would look in my normal camera. I mean, the amount of detail and the way that that looks is just absolutely incredible. And that's just a simple thing that you can do with the phone app. Let me show you what you can do with OBS and, of course, the Obsbot app for your computer. All right, so on the computer, you have access to basically all the exact same things. You can have multiple cameras up here as well, but we have the 3 presets. And we can check this out because I have it loaded up here in OBS. So we can go to preset 2. You can see it focuses in on picture. And 3 zips us right over there. 1 is the more overview. But of course, we still only have the 3 presets. But that doesn't matter because if we're going to be using OBS, we can load in the PTZ controls. And that's plug-in right here. There is going to be a link in the description down below. You can check it out. It takes a couple seconds to download and install. And now we can have pretty much as many presets as we want. Because when we set this up, we just need the IP. And you can get that right here. And the UDP, which is this port right here, that's always the same, no matter which camera. So you just need that IP, which you can easily get right here, and we're all set. So once we apply it, we have our camera locked in, and we can move it around any way we want. We can also make it focus and do all kinds of different things. We can hit the home button. It'll automatically return home. You can see me hiding out over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set up these presets. So if we want a full overhead preset of this, we could just go right here and we can save the preset right there. So now preset 1 is this right here. Let's go ahead and zoom up here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to save that preset, and we'll go back to our home and we'll choose another one, and we can make this a preset right there. So now we've got preset 1, which is the overall view, preset 2, preset 3, and preset 4. Now we can adjust how fast this stuff goes in and out and does all its stuff by going here to your gimbal speed and your zoom speed and all that kind of stuff. And we can adjust how all of that works right here in this app right here. So if we want our presets to go slower or faster, we can change that right in preset mode and all that sort of stuff. So now we can basically set it up so that we have a bunch of presets doing a lot of different things, and we can use this one camera as many cameras, and we can go ahead and make this preset 6, set the preset. So now we have lots and lots of different presets, and we just have to double click on any one of them. Now this thing will zip around like a whip pan when you have everything that's on the same level. In other words, as long as the lens isn't going to be moving in and out. But when you have to zoom in or something like that, it does move a little bit slower. So when you're setting something like this up, you're probably going to want to have everything so it is about the same focal length. So you don't have to move that lens in and out all the time, because like I said, those transitions will be a little bit slower. So we're using one camera for so many different options and opportunities. And this would work the same with the church service, because you might have the choir over here, and you might have the altar over here, and you might have the pulpit over here. And so you just zoom in between the ones that you want. You'll be able to easily switch microphones or use completely separate microphones that are located on the person's body or in front of the chorus or something like that. And you can use one camera, which is going to yield you absolutely incredible image quality, instead of multiple cameras. Now, you could get away a lot cheaper with a cell phone, but let's be honest. This camera costs about the same as a cell phone, and you can use it to emulate 4 or 5 different cameras with much, much higher image quality. In order to do the same kind of live stream, if you were just going gangster and using cell phones, you'd need like 3 or 4 different cell phones. And each of those cell phones costs as much as this one camera. And if you were going to do it with DSLR cameras so you could get the same image quality, Well, you'd need 4 or 5 DSLR cameras instead of this one camera with simple presets that will just do it for you. This is an absolute game changer for the right live streamer. Now you notice that I didn't get into the details of the stats and the specs of the camera or anything like that. The reason is because if you're live streaming and you want to do it, you can do it with this camera. It does 4K in 60 frames per second, and it'll go even higher than that at 1920 by 1080. So if you wanted to do super slow motion or something like that, you're not going to have a problem. In other words, pretty much anything that you could possibly be looking for in a DSLR, you're going to find in this camera with PTZ. And why do I need to waste a lot of time talking about the specs when I already know it's going to have what you need? The Tail 2 is the perfect camera for the right live streamer. It's not for everybody. For the right live streamer, it's an absolute game changer. Now don't forget, there is a link down below in the description if you wanted to check out the Tail 2 yourself. I definitely recommend it for sure. Now I think personally that this thing is amazing, but I want to know what you think. So let me know down below in the comments and tell me how you're going to use this thing in the field. I love seeing all of the different unique ways that folks that watch my channel use the things that I talk about. And if you're looking for a different PTZ solution, maybe the little brother of the Tail 2 can be the thing for you, the Tail Air 2, you could check this video out right here. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks to help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Feyrer Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.